Welcome to this horror special of TRS Clips. Make sure you subscribe because the scares have just begun. What was the most difficult entity you had met who just wasn't willing to go?
There was one place outside. I've spoken about this earlier. There was one place outside Mumbai, on the outskirts of Mumbai, where we went investigating, and there were two entities fighting against each other. The entity that was outside that particular place of worship was more turbulent and violent because it wanted revenge over the entity that is inside that place of worship, hiding inside. So that entity, because I telepathically also communicated like a week in advance with that, right? And it actually led us to that place.
It was two humans who were fighting against each other.
Two
and
dead
then-
humans.
Who just had a rivalry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had they killed each other or something?
One of them had killed the other.
One of them had killed the other.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
So it had a terrible backstory actually. It was like about the landowners, a brick-kiln owner, right, who had whose son had raped and killed the daughter of the other, a worker, and then afterwards killed them all. And then after, when the lady came back, lady of the house was much more powerful, much more strong. So when she came back, she killed all of those people in revenge. But the wife of the landowner just escaped and hid in the
When you're saying lady came back, you're saying as a spirit she
the mother of the girl who was killed.
came back in human form.
She was in human form.
She was alive.
Yeah, she was alive.
And she killed this person's family.
Exactly.
How?
Single-handedly with whatever she could get.
Really?
Really, yeah. We confirmed this story from the locals then.
This would have happened a while ago or like?
Maybe 30, 40 years ago. This was not 30, 40 years ago, maybe 50, 60 years ago. This was in the 1960s or something like that, yeah. That happened there. And we confirmed this from the locals. That's exactly what, because our psychic readings, we can always say that, this is all just made up. But when we confirm these facts from people in a very subtle manner, we just ask like, yahan par kya hua? And then they'll say, yahan nahi jana. I said, no, it's okay. It's just about the snakes or whatever, scorpions that you might be worried about. I said, nahi, wo nahi hai. There is something else. And then we understand. And then after we ask them, like subtly just prodding in, like what happened over here? Why is it forbidden? Why don't you guys visit after dark and everything like that? Then afterwards they tell us the story and everything, which is again the confirmation of what we already know. So the bits and parts wherever the jigsaw puzzle pieces are missing actually gets filled up there.
Do you use like police records and all to like?
Police wouldn't believe in this, right? But there are police cases that I've helped also resolve. Yeah.
You're giving me 2-3 more tangents, but we'll come back to this story.
No, but we wouldn't speak about those because those can have legal implications.
Okay, fair. Like the police has consulted with you to solve.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, son.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was one police case wherein his own son was killed and he couldn't solve it. So I had to, yeah.
Okay. Coming back to this auntie story.
Yeah. So when we went over there, it was already past dark. We had to convince an old person to actually lead us to that place, and it was completely dilapidated. We couldn't see any entrance. We had to walk up a jungle in a hill and get to that place
In Mumbai.
on the outskirts of Mumbai.
You're not comfortable revealing the location.
It's better not to.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I'll say around Karjat. But around Karjat, not really Karjat. It's
Sure,
on the other side.
sure.
Yeah. But that's exactly where it happened. And so when we went over there, I was already interacting with this lady, and we were there inside the mandir. Okay, and it was a completely broken down mandir. And I told those people, don't just stand below this broken down bow, the pillar. And I said, this can actually crumble down anytime on any of you, and we'll have to come next year to investigate your case. Yeah, because manifestation can happen anyhow, right? Yeah. So first of all, what led us to that place was an interaction we had on a different segment, and one person revealed that this has happened to them there. That they took a Segway, they took a sort of a detour on the way to Goa, and they just happened to just chance upon this location. And when they clicked photographs of that place, selfies of that place, they could hear somebody just violently run towards them from inside the mandir. And that just freaked them out. And they returned back to Bombay. And there were 4 friends. Out of that, 3 people died of fever.
What?
Unexplained fever in that week. So the 4th person somehow, just survived. And thereafter, finally, I mean, when he gave the story, he gave the story. But after that, his mother detracted him from accompanying us because he was scared. He said, "Why are you getting back into this? You're not even married. Don't get into that." So anyways, we found that place. We went to the locals and we found this place somehow or the other. And that person again told us, you know what, don't go there. We said, it's okay. We just leave us. And on the condition that we drop him back again to his original shop, he took us, he led us there. And we told our driver to just drop him back. So there we parked, and then afterwards we went inside, completely in the jungle. When we reached that mandir, first of all, I mean, we reached another place and I said, no, this is not the place. It is somewhere below, because my psychic senses are that sharp. So then afterwards we went ahead and it just looked like just another house. It was not looking like a mandir with a courtyard in front, nothing like that, just like another house. So I said, no, this is the place. So one of the crew members just opened the door and there was nothing inside. And I was like, no, this is that place. So when I stepped inside, I opened another door, and like any other old horror movie, it opened like with a creak and a cringe, like completely like that, just with the sound and everything. It was very difficult to push it. But then there were all the objects and all that were kept inside, like kalashes and, some blood stains around,
What?
ashes and everything. Yeah, and a lot of dark stuff was done.
Someone
there.
was performing rituals.
Maybe not just one, because there were more than 15 to 20 kalashes. So there may be many other people who are doing a lot of stuff there. So it was dense. It was very dense. It was like completely dilapidated, broken down, and it was completely taken over by shrubbery all around, all the bushes and everything around. From there, I could just see the courtyard, the front door, and it was completely locked with a lot of tough chains. So we couldn't go there. So when the team started investigating inside, I just felt, you know what, let me just go out alone and check exactly what the entity outside is doing. So when I went from the side, I just, I could see the creepers around, and I just picked up the creepers with my hand, right, holding a ghost meter in my hand like this. And then after that, I went inside in the courtyard and started interacting with the entity. But the entity was very, very stubborn, completely obstinate, was not ready to come on the gadgets. And from a very investigative perspective, this is a waste, because I want to record everything that is happening on the gadgets. Telepathically, I can speak to 10 different entities. How does it prove that it is not my own hallucination or my mind not playing tricks on me on my own? I want the interactions over here because I'm recording this, right? It's not happening. It's organically trying to communicate with me, and it's not letting me, I'm not coming on the gadget. I'm trying to tell everything. Far off in a distance, there is another dog that is barking. And just as a matter of confirmation, I ask, at least make the dog quiet. And within seconds, the dog just stops barking. In a distance, far away, completely, it just stops barking. And I say, okay, fine. This is a confirmation. This is not my mind playing tricks, because the dog had been barking for a long time, maybe for 3 or 4 minutes altogether. And this was not a matter of coincidence. So it happened. And then after they said, okay, fine. Now you're not coming on the gadgetry. You're doing all this stuff. This is not actually helping me at all. So fine, let me go inside and check what is happening over there, right? The moment I try quitting the courtyard and going back inside the mandir, this feeble creepers became such thick boughs or branches of trees and just stopped my way from going inside.
Like plants got activated.
Yeah. Plants got activated, as they show in the horror movies sometimes, that they become such thick and they become like branches of a tree, and they stopped my way. That feeble branches, the creepers that I could just pick up like this and just walk inside, just came and blocked my way. And it was very unusual. I said, this is not what I wanted from this place. And I was like, say about telepathically, just in a quarrel with that entity. I said, you don't do this.
This was that auntie's entity?
Yes, it was.
Who had killed that entire family?
Who had killed the entire family.
Okay, go on.
So after this, I had to literally crawl out of that place and get inside the mandir again. And nobody inside knew exactly what happened with me outside there. And more than the entity, I was more scared of the beast that could have manifested. Right? They could be leopards or whatever, because that was a jungle, complete jungle. So if at all this entity had manifested in the way of a leopard or something like that, that would be much more treacherous.
That can happen.
That can definitely happen.
Okay.
That can definitely happen. Like snakes, scorpions, anything. We've seen them all. So that happens. I mean, like entities and demons can manifest them through humans. So they get possessed, right? The same way, any of these things can happen. But then afterwards, when we went inside, and afterwards the entire investigation all got over, we came outside and we cleansed that place.
How?
Just removing that entity from that place, just forcefully crossing her over.
How? There's a ritual.
There is a ritual.
Okay. So you had to perform an exorcism of the place.
So that's called a cleansing. That's not actually an exorcism. That's a cleansing.
Okay. Which is, I'm sure, extremely technical. There's like a bunch of steps and
Densities and all. Yeah, that matter. The same way that we cleanse a lot of other locations, like private cases that we go to, people say that the place is haunted or something like that. So first we will search for any other anomaly like EMF pollution or probably even a Vastu anomaly or something like that. And if at all that is the cause of the problem, then we just directly tell you know what, a Vastu consultant will be better, right? Why do you actually want to do this? So you do that, everything, all those things first, and only then if the anomaly still exists, only then we step in. So that's how the cleansing happens.
okay. One thing I've learned from Sarba Bhai and Pooja is that you have to approach these cases with a sense of empathy towards the entity.
Yeah.
But even if it's an entity like this which has murdered a whole family, which is being aggressive with you, you're still supposed to show empathy.
Otherwise it will not interact with you, no?
So you're supposed to say, Maji, sorry.
No, not
aapke
really.
saath kya hua?
Not really. It's like in a criminal case, for that matter, like incriminating a criminal, right? If a person is accused, he's still not a criminal. So if at all you show your sakti over that person will not actually break down. So
Even
you
their
employ different methods.
Empathy is required.
Yes.
Okay. Why was this particular one more difficult? Because the spirit was adamant.
Yeah, and it physically restrained me from getting out. Otherwise, this has never happened before, anytime.
Okay. Do you think it would have come for your life if you had fear or
If I had fear, yes, it could have. It could have tried to manifest itself through me. It could have possessed me. It could have attached itself to me and tried to work through me.
Do you think that this lady was probably spiritually strong?
Through the years, yes.
As an entity, she had become spiritual.
See, it's like this. Like over, say, about years, like suppose a person is dead and it still doesn't want to cross over. A person, an enlightened person, knows, okay, fine, this is the purpose of the universe, right? Like the animals and the birds, they have no, a desire in life as such. They just want to eat, right? And they just want to procreate. There is no insurance. There is no investments. There are no fixed deposits. There are nothing like that. They don't hide anything. Once they're dead, they just let go. It's okay. I'll go to the next life. But humans, no. We have a lot of desires. We have a lot of fixed, a lot of botherations that keep us bound to this place. So an enlightened being will think about, okay, fine, this is my life. And if this is my death, no matter how violent it is, I'll just let go and just go to my next assignment, my next life. But there are some people who will not let go very easily. They want their possessions. They through their desire, they stay over here, right? So immediately they might not go. But they have to disintegrate sometime or the other. It's just energy. Energy can convert itself from one form to the other. It cannot just get destroyed. But the thing is, if these people have learned the method to stay put, gather energy without eating food and staying for such a long time, for 40, 50 years, why would they want to go to the next life sometime?
Again, you gather energy out of interacting with people from the human realm or
any other source. Any other source. It can be light, it can be densities of air, it could be anything, water, through which they manifest, anything.
So there are multiple techniques in that realm also to accumulate further energy.
Exactly. Like a person might fast for 3 days and still be healthy. So our consumption is not only limited to the food that we eat. The consumption is also the things that we see, the things that we experience. So all that is consumption that makes us what we are.
Okay. You also said that temple had people performing rituals inside it. The one thing I know about any kind of rituals is that when you perform it in an area, it changes the energy of the place as well.
Of course.
So could this lady's spirit be feeding off the energy?
Yeah.
She would have become powerful there. And that's why she was able to manipulate physical reality as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like poltergeist activities. Like throwing books off a shelf, or probably throwing vessels off a countertop or something like that, or shattering glass. These are poltergeist activities, right? So these entities somehow or the other try to manipulate the medium, like air or probably vibrations or something like that, and cause an anomaly.
And the stronger the entity is, the more it can interact with the physical realm.
Exactly.
So have poltergeists also been humans at some point or not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
They could have just been a different kind of being from another realm.
Yeah, there is a difference between a ghost and a demon. Right? A demon is something that has never walked earth. It's like that. A demonic entity is different. A demonic entity are like just free radicals of energy latching on to some memory. right? Like it's like this. The property of a metal wire is like it is malleable and ductile. It can be molded. It can be in any form and bent in any form. But the moment I give it a shape of a coil, if I heat it and if I increase the density of its molecules, the molecular bond, it becomes a spring. And once it becomes a spring, if I pull it, it will or push it, it will still retain its original shape. So what I'm doing over here is it had energy even before that. It has energy even now. What I'm doing is only ascribing a memory to it. After a certain time, if I heat it again, and if I pull it in a certain way, that memory will be left. And it will again become malleable and ductile again. So in the same way as humans also, as we are all vibrations, we are different, right? Everything is vibration, everything is just energy, right? So what happens is through our DNA, through our genetics, we ascribe memory to each and every cell. So there are some cells that will go and become the heart, and there are some cells that will function like the fingers. And we keep regenerating this through whatever food we're eating, right? Every cell keeps on, multiplying and then afterwards getting degenerated after some time, right? So what we are actually doing is only ascribing memory to the energy. The moment you remove the memory from the energy is free to interact again and go on to this next life. So energy actually cannot be destroyed. It can be only converted from one form to the other. What happens in demons is the free radicals of energy that are moving in the air, wind and everything, these are all energies, right? Suddenly get some spiritual memory to it. If the memory is positive, they form angels and spirit guides. If it is negative, they form demons. So there are some entities, invisible entities, which are positive, and there are some entities which can be negative.
Are there some that are just gray, which are both?
Yeah, they can be. They can be confused. So they cause confusions.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you watch more horror clips on TRS Clips.